Hey, I'm Jimmy from Superpath, and today I'm here with Alex Panias. Did I get that right, Alex?
Yes, you did.
Okay, cool. You're the founder of ScaleMath, and you're hiring a content lead, um, which I'm excited to talk about. But maybe first, could you just set the context? ScaleMath. Who is ScaleMath? What is ScaleMath? Paint the picture for us.
Yeah, sure. First of all, I appreciate your time, Jimmy, and your help in hiring as well. So, ScaleMath is an SEO and marketing agency that works with driven software companies. We really look for the type of companies that are looking to invest in long-term sustainable growth, as well as being the best in the industry as well. And that's because, simply put, our mission is day in and day out to obsess over our clients' growth to really help them reach their goals.
Got it. Got it. What type of companies do you work with? Is it primarily B2C or B2B or a mix of both?
A mix of both, but primarily B2B software. Yeah. So SaaS, WordPress plugins, those type of companies.
Got it. Got it. Okay, awesome. And so you're hiring a content lead. What's the high level vision for this role?
Mhm. So the high level vision of this role is that we find somebody who is really able to obsess over the nuance in content and take content from different angles. So when we work with clients that have in-house writers, part-time or freelance, that they're able to take any type of content and turn it from something decent and average into something that's truly exceptional and worth publishing. But then beyond that, we definitely also want someone who is capable of producing their own content. So all around the role would really be focused on taking ownership of the content we produce across the board for our clients.
Got it. Got it. So this is primarily about um, content strategy and content creation for your clients, and not necessarily stuff for Scale Math's on marketing.
Correct. Yeah, it would be focused on client work.
Got it. Got it. Do you have a vision of like what this person's day or week might look like? Like how much are they going back and forth with clients? How much are they actually writing? Are they doing any promotion or distribution, that kind of thing also?
Yeah, so we separate the two really. So we have separate teams that handle outreach and content promotion. So in addition to spending their time writing content, their day to day would be filled by organizing our content team. So writers that we have dedicated to each individual client, which obviously involves conducting research, which I think is one of the main parts of actually producing a piece of content, so that they can write the briefs for these writers. And then subsequent to that, also overseeing quality control of everything before it gets published or passed on to a client for review. And then also over time, the goal will be that these people are really great at giving writers feedback, so that the feedback loop is really shortened and the amount of edits required is over time minimized as much as possible.
Got it. Got it. It may be too early to answer this question, but I'm curious
Mhm.
how you see this role evolving over time.
Mhm. Yeah, it is a bit early on to say, but ScaleMath is a very young agency. But within the short period of time that we've been around, officially we incorporated back in August of 2019. So very not that long ago. Of course, in this short period of time, we've also had the opportunity to work with some incredible companies. So I'm a bit biased, but that's why I think this is an incredible opportunity for somebody passionate about content. But also because the agency is fairly young, the goal of this role will be to transition, if it's a good fit, of course, for both of us, to transition the role to a head of content role that will then grow as the agency grows. So they would then take ownership of managing content leads underneath them once we grow and take on more clients.
Got it. Okay, cool. I love that. Yeah, one thing that I often encourage candidates to think about when they're looking at jobs is what's the trajectory of the company like? Because if the company's growing, you have the opportunity to grow with them, and if the company's growing quickly, your career can grow a lot faster than if you were at a place that was more stagnant. So that's really exciting. Um, how about location? I mean, a remote role, I assume. You're in the UK? Do you want someone in the UK as well, or is anywhere in the world okay? Like, how are you thinking about that?
Really, there is no requirement based on location, so it could be anywhere. I mean, the factors that I'll be really looking at would be experience, writing samples, of course, and their ability based on what their experience is as well.
What kind of experience are you looking for? Are there certain types of jobs or certain types of work that you would that would catch your eye on an application?
Yeah, so there are a couple things. Someone with experience working in the software industry in marketing would definitely be a bonus, but though this definitely isn't a requirement. I mean, the key really here is the ability to write great content. So from a marketing perspective, it would be perfectly fine for somebody to come in with very little marketing experience, as long as they have proven to be a great at producing content. So as long as they're able to produce great content as a writer or as an editor, I'm more than happy to invest the time in training them up to be a great marketer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. And just for folks listening, we have an article on the Superpath blog about how to apply for a content role. I would recommend checking that out. There's a section in there about selecting your writing samples and what I think makes for a good writing sample. The things that I typically recommend to people are present a couple different types of writing. So if the role, for example, is SEO focused, make sure you have a really good SEO focused piece to show, but then also always include something that um, makes it clear that you're a good writer without the constraints of SEO. Like, can you identify an interesting idea and write an interesting, insightful piece on it? Are there certain things in those writing samples that you would be looking for?
Yeah, for sure. So based, of course, the merits of the actual content and how I would look at it as to be a great piece of content, which is to some extent subjective, but beyond that, also have they produced something which, with the right promotion and with the right angle and with the right amount of backlinks, does that even have the potential to rank, or have they really missed the mark on that? But beyond that as well, it's really the attention to detail and nuance in writing. So somebody outside content, which is true because I've seen it with people I know, don't really understand obsessing over the details in writing, because most people which aren't in the industry would think, yeah, it doesn't really make a difference if this sentence is phrased like this, or what comes before what, because at the end of the day, most people won't even notice the difference. But overall, in a piece of content, these like small tiny differences in how you phrase a sentence and the way you structure the piece of content make a massive difference in not only conversion rate but also the shareability. Do people actually consume the content, or is it just, you know, you're publishing content on a client's website and nobody actually ends up reading it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. One other just quick thought on writing samples is that I would also encourage folks to, in addition to a writing sample, provide some context for Alex as he's reviewing those samples. So like if, for example, you wrote a piece for a client and it's ghostwritten, explain what the scope of that project was. Why was this article written? What constraints were you working with? What timeline? That kind of thing. Because otherwise, if it's just the person on the other end might read it and say, "Well, this is nothing special." But if it actually was really difficult and really challenging to get that thing across the line, it's really helpful for the person on the other end to know about that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to underscore that point actually, because I see this a lot with writers as well, just general writing roles. People submit writing samples, but they don't give any context as to how much instruction they were given to produce that. Because some companies write really, really detailed briefs where the brief itself is 1,000 words for a 3,000 word post. So they've basically
Right.
written most of the article for them, and they're just filling in the gaps. So if
Right.
that's the situation, I mean, it will be fairly noticeable when we do a trial together. But I think it does help save both people time if you include the context.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, cool. So, underneath this video, there'll be a button that says apply for this role. When you click that link, there will be a form you can fill out, and we'll ask for things like a LinkedIn profile, writing samples. There'll be an opportunity to provide that exact context. And then we will start, reviewing writing samples and screening folks and passing them your way, Alex. Anything else folks should know about this role before they express their interest?
I feel like we've covered mostly everything, though there is something I'd like to add. I believe I mentioned it earlier, and I am a bit biased, but I really do think this is a great opportunity for someone in content marketing to join a fairly young but fast growing agency early on and grow to eventually not just manage writers and report directly to me, but eventually also manage content leads that themselves manage writers and grow our team when we take on more clients. And another thing that adds to the point which you said, what are the things you're looking for in somebody that you hire? I think Basecamp, the way Basecamp puts it, as the ability to be a manager of one, is really essential, especially for distributed companies which are working remotely. Somebody which is able to meet deadlines and really take control of their schedule and delivering on it on a consistent basis is an absolute must.
I love that. I love that. Perfect. Awesome. Well, we will get this posted quickly. I think people are going to be really interested in this role, so we'll have some folks for you soon. And thanks, Alex. I appreciate it.
Thank you.